Have you ever noticed that the things most easily accessible to us are often the ones we value the least? We take the air for granted until we can't breathe, and we take people for granted until they are gone. When you are always available, you become a background noise in the lives of others rather than a priority. It is a harsh truth that constant presence often breeds a subtle form of disrespect. You become the reliable safety net that no one worries about losing because they assume you will always be there. But what happens when that net is suddenly pulled away? In this video, we are going to explore the radical transformation that occurs when you decide to reclaim your time and energy. We will look at why no is a complete sentence and how being less available actually increases your perceived value in every circle you inhabit. You will learn the difference between being helpful and being used, and how to spot the moment your kindness became an expectation. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It is about the fundamental psychology of respect and self-preservation. Prepare to see your relationships through a completely different lens as we dive into the power of absence. The psychology of scarcity tells us that we value what is rare and hard to obtain. When your time is an open book that anyone can read at any hour, it loses its premium. You might think that being constantly available shows how much you care, but often it just shows how little you value your own schedule. People naturally gravitate toward those who have their own lives, their own goals, and their own limits. By being everywhere at once, you are effectively nowhere. It is time to stop being the person who drops everything the moment someone else snaps their fingers. Think about the people you respect the most in your life. Are they the ones who answer every text within seconds? Probably not. They are likely individuals who are deeply engaged in their own pursuits and value their focus. When you stop being so available, you send a silent message to the world that your time is precious. This shift forces others to evaluate why they are reaching out to you and whether it is truly worth your attention. It raises the bar for interaction and filters out those who only contact you because you are a convenient option. You are not a 24-hour convenience store. You are a high-end gallery. When you withdraw your availability, you create a space that allows others to miss you. Silence is a powerful communicator that forces reflection in those who have grown accustomed to your presence. They begin to remember the value you brought into their lives when that value is no longer served on a silver platter. This creates a psychological shift where they must now earn your time rather than simply consume it. It is in this gap of absence that appreciation begins to grow. You are teaching people how to treat you by showing them what life is like without your constant support. Reclaiming your time is the ultimate act of self-love because it prioritizes your needs over the convenience of others. Every time you say yes to something you don't want to do, you are saying no to your own peace of mind. By setting these boundaries, you are finally giving yourself the space to breathe and grow. You will find that the hours you once spent, it's necessary for your survival in a world that will take as much as you are willing to give. Your energy is a finite resource that deserves to be protected. The silence that follows your withdrawal can be uncomfortable at first, especially if you are used to the noise of being needed. You might feel guilty or worry that you are being rude, but this is just the sound of your boundaries being established. Those who truly value you will respect your new distance and wait for you to return when you are ready. Those who are only using you will likely become frustrated or angry because their easy access has been cut off. This frustration is a clear indicator of who was in your life for you and who was there for what you could do for them. Use this silence as a filter. Setting boundaries is like building a fence around a beautiful garden. It's not meant to keep everyone out, but to protect what is growing inside. Without that fence, the world will trample over your flowers without even realizing they are there. When you stop being available for every minor drama, you save your strength for the things that truly matter. You become more present for the people who actually deserve your time because you aren't drained by those who don't. Your quality of interaction will skyrocket once the quantity is brought under your control. Respect starts with the walls you choose to build around your own well-being. There is a certain mystery that comes with being less available that naturally draws people in. When people don't know your every move, they become more curious about your life and your thoughts. You stop being a predictable element and start being an individual with depth and secrets. This mystery creates a sense of intrigue and makes your contributions much more impactful when you do choose to share them. You are no longer just a participant in everyone else's story. You are the protagonist of your own. Let people wonder what you are up to while you are busy building your empire in the shade. Watch how the dynamics of your conversations change when your yes becomes a rare commodity. Suddenly, people listen more closely when you speak because they know you don't just say things to please them. Your opinions carry more weight because they are backed by the fact that you aren't afraid to walk away. You'll notice that the people who used to talk over you are now waiting for your input. By valuing your own words and time, you force everyone else to do the same. This is the transition from being a people pleaser to being a person of influence. Breaking the cycle of people pleasing is one of the hardest things you will ever do, but it is also the most rewarding. You have spent so long lighting yourself on fire to keep others warm that you have forgotten what it feels like to be comfortable. When you stop being available, you stop the fire and start focusing on your own internal warmth. It takes courage to say, I can't do that right now, or I need some time for myself. But every time you say it, a little piece of your old, exhausted self is replaced by someone stronger. You are finally coming home to yourself. This period of unavailability is the perfect time to focus on your personal growth and hidden talents. When you aren't constantly distracted by other people's needs, you can finally hear your own voice. What are the projects you've put off? What are the books you've wanted to read? Use this newly reclaimed time to sharpen your skills and improve your mind. The more you invest in yourself, the more you realize that you never needed the external validation you were chasing. Your value is inherent, but it is up to you to cultivate and polish it through dedicated self-focus. Take note of who stays by your side when you are no longer the easy friend who does everything. The people who truly love you will adapt to your new boundaries and support your need for space. They are the ones who ask how you are doing, rather than asking what you can do for them. On the other hand, those who are only in it for the convenience will slowly drift away, and that is a blessing in disguise. This process naturally cleanses your social circle of toxicity and superficiality. It leaves you with a small but powerful group of individuals who respect the person you are becoming. There is an incredible internal peace that comes with detachment from the expectations of others. You no longer feel the frantic urge to check your phone or the crushing weight of someone else's disappointment. You realize that you are not responsible for everyone's happiness and that it is okay to let people figure things out on their own. This detachment isn't coldness, it is a healthy distance that allows you to remain stable regardless of the chaos around you. You are the master of your own emotional state, and no one can disturb it without your permission. You have found your center. You don't need to shout to command respect. Your actions and your boundaries do the talking for you. By simply not being available for disrespect or low-value interactions, you set a standard that people must meet. This quiet authority is much more powerful than any argument or explanation. It shows that you have a high level of self-worth and that you aren't afraid of solitude. When you are comfortable being alone, you are no longer a slave to the company of others. You choose who enters your space based on quality, not out of a fear of being left out. The transformation of your social circle and your professional life will be undeniable once you master this. You will find yourself surrounded by people who offer value rather than just taking it. Your work will become more focused and your results more impressive because you have stopped allowing interruptions. The energy of your life shifts from reactive to proactive. You are no longer responding to the world is responding to you. This is the true meaning of personal power, the ability to direct your life according to your own vision and values. In the end, living for yourself is the only way to truly be available for the things that matter. When you stop being a servant to everyone's whims, you become a leader of your own destiny. You will look back and realize that the fear of losing people was nothing compared to the fear of losing yourself. The life you have always wanted is waiting for you on the other side of your no. It is time to step into that life with confidence and grace. Remember, your availability is a gift, and it is up to you to decide who is worthy of receiving it. The world will continue to move. People will continue to ask, but you are the one who holds the key to your own time. Everything changes when you realize that your presence is a privilege, not a right. Start today by taking one small step back and seeing what happens when you prioritize your own soul. You might be surprised at how much more beautiful the world looks when you aren't exhausted from trying to carry it all. Trust the process, trust the silence, and most importantly, trust yourself. The shift has already begun.